On today's show, we really have a surprise for you. Stay tuned. Welcome to Dish It Up. I'm Chef Manny, and today we have a really exciting show for you today. We'll be making our famous crab and dough. I'll be demonstrating for you how to really make two crab and dough. I'll start out with making the traditional one, and then I'll also focus on showing you how to really make a really classical one that you can use in the hotel. All right, so let's cook. The first thing you want to do, I just want to show you what the crabs look like. We really have some really nice land crabs. So this is what the black crab look like, and then we have our white crab. So let me show you what the male look like. You can always tell the female. It has a really big broad band for the female, right? And the male is a more narrower skinny band. All right, so they're already clean, but I just want to show you how you want to go about cleaning the crabs. So first you'll need some water. So I got some vinegar, just a little pinch of salt, and then I'm gonna squeeze just a little more acid in there with the lemon. So just put some lemon in there. So I get my salt, my water, I got my crabs. Then you need your little toothbrush, all right? A nice clean toothbrush. So make sure you get a good scrub going on, because these are land crabs and certainly that's going to be filled with a lot of dirt. So make sure you scrub in all between those nice cracks, getting away all the dirt. And certainly the acid, the vinegar and the lemon will work wonders in terms of just keeping it clean, help you to clean it. So for the body, make sure you lift up the top part and make sure you get a good scrub going on in there, all right? So growing up on the island, this is something that my mother used to cook, and certainly this was actually dinner. So something like this is what the family will eat, so. But nowadays, I don't think people are using it as much. But when you look at our cuisine, I think this is the only place around the world where you can find this, all right? So we're just gonna go ahead and dry them with a clean cloth. Dry them really nice with a clean cloth. So in my bowl, I have a lot of crabs already clean. For the crab biters now, what you wanna do is just take off that little tip. That's very important. You wanna take that off, because sometimes when you go to eat it, you don't want that to stick you anywhere in your mouth. So just use your knife. The handle of the knife could work, and just crack it like so, all right? So what we normally do is we just do it like this, wrap them up in a cloth so that you get, and then crack, all right? So do a little wipe. The next step after cleaning, you wanna go ahead and season the crabs. All right, we get some garlic in the bowl. Let's get some seasoning. You really need some pepper. Sometimes person like it spicy, but if you want it, you gotta have the pepper, I think, you gotta have that. We're just gonna turn them up. Of course, you need your fresh thyme. So your fresh thyme. Fresh thyme. Let's get it mixed up again. All right, those crabs are really looking good. Now, for this dish, you're gonna need some scallions. You're gonna need some sliced onions, and of course, some celery, right? So those are gonna be the dressing for the crabs. So I'm just gonna put these over my crab. Get the scallions. Let's get those onions. Celery. Gonna get a good mix on that. So you can see there's a lot of flavor going on, a lot of flavor. think we need a little more pepper, because certainly some people are waiting on this. All right, so we're looking good. Got my big Dutchy pot. All right, so one thing with the crabs, now you really want to stand those up. You don't want to lay them on the body, so you want to stand them up like that. So just go ahead and stand them up. So just line them up straight around the pot like that. All right, so once we get a crab in the pot, we're just going to go ahead and add the liquid. Just making sure you add enough liquid, like I say, just to cover the bottom. All right, time to make the dough. So before I make the dough, I just want to tell you about the baker's percentage. So the flour is always 100%. The liquid is 65% the weight of the flour. All right, so very easy technique. So you don't really need a recipe for this. Just keep in mind the baker's percentage and 65% liquid, 100% flour. All right, so my flour weight is 1 pound, 2 ounces, which is 18 ounces. So I'm just gonna put that in the bowl. And all you need to do is calculate 65% of 18 ounces, right? All right, so we get our flour weight, which was 18 ounces. Now we need to calculate our water percentage, which is 11.7 ounces. We got our flour, which was 18 ounces. We got our liquid, which we already know from the baker's percentage is 65% the weight of the flour. Now we're gonna add the salt, which is always 2% of that. So we're just gonna put 2 ounces of salt in there. Very easy technique. Just use our hands and just combine it together, all right? Very easy technique. So let me just put 2 ounces of baking powder in there, all right? So 2 teaspoons of baking powder. So just gonna go ahead and combine. Get a little wipe down. So just go ahead and put some flour on the table. One thing in culinary, a lot of persons, you see them put flour on the table, they like to do it like this. But you always teach students to, just throw the flour on the table like that. Just throw it with your hands. So you get a nice surface covered with flour, all right? Some Long Island crab and dough. So just go ahead, put some flour on top of the dough. Using the heel of your hand, just make sure you get a good roll, all right? So let me take off my gloves for this. When you're making bread, all you need is a nice clean hands, all right? Clean hands. And you need the dough really, really good, all right? So keep the dough moving off the surface. Keep it moving off the surface. You're folding into the middle. Just keep it rocking, keep folding into the center. And flour has what we call gluten. So what you want to do is you want to develop the gluten in the flour. So you want to say, how do I know the dough is ready to put on my crab and dough? You want to be able to stretch the dough and develop that gluten in the flour. Gluten is a protein in the flour that gives the dough its elasticity, and it also gives the dough structure. So you want to be able to develop the gluten so that, when you cut into the dough, it's not falling apart. So just to recap what we did so far, we got the crab already clean, we got the crab seasoned, the garlic, pepper, thyme, we got some special season, Cajun, right? And we get everything waiting on our dough. So we'll be right back after these messages.
Hey, what's up, Mario?
Hey Dale, what's going on?
Have you seen ZNS new digital platforms?
No, let me go check it out.
Good day, Bahamas. I'm Devontae Hanna, and this is ZNS Digital,
where we cater to your news and entertainment needs.
Are you a foodie? I thought so. Then look out for Digital Bites.
Shining a light on Bahamians and the good that they do, ZNS Digital is home to the sunshine one.
Keeping up with the latest trends, our original content will keep you entertained.
Yeah, that's cool.
But have you seen the new website?
No, I didn't see it. Let me go look.
We're still your most trusted source for news and information.
That's ZNS Digital?
Yeah, that's ZNS Digital, the people station in your pocket.
Covering the news seems easy, but we put thought into what we're doing. The Bahamas Tonight Access Now, here to inform, educate, and entertain. A new type of newscast featuring social media trends, news from around the islands, interviews with the people you like, sports, weather, and fabulous entertainment. That's a Bahamas Tonight Access Now with Marcellus Hall and LaDon Davis. Live, starting September 16th.
Welcome back. So just to give you a recap, we have seasoned our crab. We cleaned them really good. Then we went ahead and we seasoned them. And now we go ahead and we make the dough. So just to give you a little flavor profile, we have black crab and you have white crab. I know a lot of times persons, when they're making crab and dough, they like to use the white crab for crab and dough. But I found that working with a black crab, it really gives a really nice flavor. I think the flavor is a little more different. And when you're making like crab and rice, I think it's always best to use the black crab. You really get a much more concentrated flavor versus the white crab. All right, so we have our crab. It's already seasoned. We worked on the dough. The dough is ready to go. We need it, like I said, until we develop the gluten. So it's ready to go. We have a dough that consists of flour, water, salt, and baking powder. All right, so just gonna work it. Put some flour on my hands and be able to work it just enough to cover the crabs. So just use your hands, press it out like that. Turn it over, put more flour, and then use your hands and just be able to stretch the dough like that. I'm just using my fists and just stretching the dough. All right, so we're looking good. Crab and dough, Long Island style. All right, so the dough look good. All right, so I think that's enough to cover. Now we need flavor. So this is all about flavor, right? Because we want to be able to, when we eat the crab and dough, we want to taste that rich onions and pepper and thyme. But of course now we need a little secret ingredients in there. All right, so this butter is going to help to enhance the sauce and also provides flavor to the crab and dough. All right, so just put a little bit of butter in there. All right, so I think I got enough. All right, so we're looking good. Now I'll pick up my dough. Whenever you're picking up dough to put on anything, one technique is fold in half, pick it up like that. Now I take the other half that I fold and just rest it on top like that. All right, so, and then I stretch it out to cover. So we just cover it so. And I think this pot is perfect for crab and dough. It's a nice Dutchy pot. It's thick, it can really cover, has a good cover to go over it. And it'll hold in all that steam. All right, so just place it on the fire. Now we turn the fire on. Now we're gonna let this go for at least 30 minutes. 30 minutes on the pot, and I think it should be ready. All right, so now let's start our new style crab and dough. When you're working with crab and dough, sometimes, you know, that is something we really can't offer our guests. So we have to find ways that we can make the crab and dough with those flavors really creative and really serve it in our local hotels. So I think just the flavor of crab and dough is really, really unique, and you can only find it in the Bahamas. And so this version of the crab and dough is going to be really, really interesting. All right, so I'm just going to show you how we can refine our products and be able to take it to the next level. All right, so I got some butter in there. So I'm just going to put some onions. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to make a nice crab filling, and I'm going to stuff it inside the dough, and then I'm going to make a really nice crab butter to go along with it. All right, so we got some onions sauteing. Of course, we need the garlic. 2 spoons of garlic in there. We're gonna just let that saute until it's translucent. In culinary, translucent is meaning you just want it to just change color until it's really, really light, you know, and bring out all of those flavors. All right, so we're looking good. We get our crab on, so let me just do a little peek to make sure we get a nice steam coming off the top, looking good. So while that is on, we're gonna focus on the filling for the next version, all right? So we're just gonna saute. So just add a little tricolor peppers, just for flavor. All right, looking good. We're gonna season lightly. Season lightly with a little pepper, keep it moving. Now we're gonna take some crab fat. Just put a little bit in there. This is where all the flavor is at, so we're gonna just use some of that for the filling, and then we're gonna use some to make the crab butter to go with that, all right? So we're gonna develop two kinds of technique, all right? So just stay with me. Stay with me. So we got our crab, we got our onions, we got our garlic, we got our crab fat. So that's looking good. We got that nice crab fat going on. We got our onions, our garlic, our peppers, all those really nice flavors developing. We get the crab fat. Now we're gonna add some fresh thyme. Like I said, this is very, very important. Our traditional crab, though we really can't serve it in the hotel because I think guests will, you know, but we can take some of the flavors that we know, and we can take that and develop really, really nice, unique dishes that guests will love, all right, because it will be totally different, all right? So we got that moving around, looking good. Now I got my crab meat. I'm just gonna put some of that in there. Looking good. So like I said, this is gonna go into a dough, and we're gonna steam the dough, and then we're gonna go ahead and make a really nice crab butter sauce to go along with it, all right? So, of course you need the spice in there, so you need a little pepper, so go pepper. Salt. Got some nice fresh pepper in there. All right, so we're looking good. All right, so we're looking good. We got our nice crab filling. We're gonna put this into a dough. So let's do a little recap. All right, we got our crab and dough. It's looking good. What we did was we cleaned the crab, we seasoned. Then we went ahead and make a really nice dough, and we cover it, put a little water in the pot, and we steam it down. So that's looking good. Now we got our second part of this dish, our crab filling. All right, so when we come back, we're gonna show you how to really put this meal together. We're gonna stuff the dough, and then we're gonna go ahead and steam it and make the crab sauce. So don't go nowhere. We'll be right back.
Clint Watson has been the trusted voice of journalism for over 2 decades. He is your first choice for hard-hitting discussions, your best choice for current affairs issues and investigative journalism. It's time to start the journey of relentless journalism. It's time to start the journey of facts over fiction. It's time for the Rundown with Clint Watson here on ZNS, where only the sun covers the Bahamas better. Covering the news seems easy, but we put thought into what we're doing. The Bahamas Tonight Access Now, here to inform, educate, and entertain. A new type of newscast featuring social media trends, news from around the islands, interviews with the people you like, sports, weather, and fabulous entertainment. That's a Bahamas Tonight Access Now with Marcellus Hall and LaDon Davis. Live, starting September 16th.
All right, welcome back. So we have a really lot of things going on. We got the crab and dough going on. We got our crab filling that we already made. Now we're just gonna go ahead and add some lemon zest, and what we have left to do, we have the crab and butter sauce to make, and then we're gonna go ahead and steam the crab dumplings. All right, so we're almost there at the finish line. So we're just gonna go ahead and add some lemon zest into this, because this is a seafood, so you want it to be, you want a little lemon in there. All right, so for the balance. So just go ahead, squeeze a little lemon in there. All right, set that aside. Just throw the flour, get a nice throw on your table. We got our dough, same dough. The only thing I did was I add a little more yeast in it. Now I add yeast in it because I want this to be able to lift and give this dough a really different texture. All right, same dough technique, same measurement. All right, so just gonna roll it out. We got a rolling pin. Put a little flour on the rolling pin. Now, one technique with rolling doughs, you always go in one direction. You never go that way, that way, that way. Always go straight up, all right? Straight up. You turn the dough, but you don't turn the rolling pin, all right? So we just do it like that. Now we turn the dough, see? We turn the dough. We're not turning the rolling pin. That is where you keep the dough nice and uniform at all times, all right? Let me just get to check my crab and dough. Oh man, we're looking good. Just feel it, make sure the dough, so we're looking good. All right, so let's get these ready. So I'm just gonna use my knife, give a nice cut on my dough. Crab and dough, all right, so that's what we're doing. A different style, but the flavor is just as good. So we're gonna just take a little bit of that crab meat, put that down in there like that. Just a little bit. All right, so once we fill them, we're just gonna go ahead and just roll them up to the center like that. Use your hands and pinch it together. And just do a nice little twist on it. All right? One. We got a good amount of crab and dough ready, so now we're just gonna go ahead and clean them up and make sure they're perfect. Now we have a steam pot ready. We're just gonna go ahead and place them down. Let's check our crab and dough. All right, we're looking good. We're just gonna go ahead and put a cover on them. Then we're gonna place them on a heat just for 20 minutes until they're really nice and steamed and done. Time to make the crab butter. So we got a nice butter. So we're just gonna go ahead and pulse this a little bit. We're gonna go ahead and add the same mixture that we add for the filling. We're just gonna go ahead and add it to the butter. And then we're just gonna go ahead and emulsify that. This is gonna be the butter we use for the dough, all right? We're just gonna go ahead and emulsify that. Just add a little seasoning, salt, pepper, and just a little bit of coconut milk because we want this to be like a sauce. So when we put this over the dough, we have a nice good flavor going. All right, so when we come back, we're gonna go ahead and do our plate up. We're gonna serve the crab and dough. We're gonna go ahead and glaze our steamed crab dumplings. All right, so we'll be right back after these messages.
Hi, JBI. I so love your products. Your kidney beans, they are rich and authentic. I love the coconut taste. I love the coconut smell. I use it for my rice all the time. Every Sunday is my Sunday's product.
Guess what?
This is all we use. We love the pigeon peas and coconut milk. We love the red kidney beans and coconut milk. Peas and rice, that's the only thing that we use. Thank you so much for being here.
I must say, out of the many products that they have, this has to be my favorite one. It's very refreshing and it would be my first choice of drink.
Try JBI.
Happy 30th anniversary, JBI.
Happy anniversary, JBI. Congratulations, JBI, on your 30th anniversary of being in the Bahamas. Happy 30th anniversary, JBI.
Thank you, Bahamas.
Beginning Monday, September 16th, it's the new lineup of ZNS News and Current Affairs, 6 p.m. It's What's Trending, Lifestyles in the Afternoon with Stacey Campbell Marshall, 6:30. We head to the north for the Bahamas Tonight Northern Edition, 7 p.m. It's the Bahamas Tonight National Report, followed by the Bahamas Tonight Access, now at 7:30. Then, at 8 p.m., your nightly news analysis show, The Rundown, with Clint Watson, and 11 p.m., the Bahamas Tonight at 11 with Royston Jones. It's a full lineup of the new ZNS, and it starts Monday, September 16th. Only the sun covers the Bahamas better.
All right, so here's the fun part now. All right, we're gonna plate up our nice crab and dough. We have, like I said, we did two versions of it. We did a traditional one where we went ahead and we seasoned the crabs. We cleaned them first. We seasoned. We add lots of onions and thyme and sweet goat pepper and salt. Then we put them in a nice pot. Then we go ahead and made our really fresh dough with salt, with flour, water, and baking powder, and we cover the dough. All right, so that's ready. Also, we have the steamed dough is ready also. So let's get a good look at what's going on. We got a lot of steam going on in there. So they're really, really nice. So I'm gonna saute those in the crab butter. So before I do that, we got a nice lovely crab and dough that we made. All right, so we're just gonna go ahead and turn this over on our bowl like that. 2 cloths, we're just gonna go ahead and just give it a good turn over. So there we have it. So there we have it, crab and dough, all right? So that's one. You can go ahead and just give it a little dab with parsley. All right, so what we did, we turned it over in the bowl. And the reason for that is because I want all of that flavor to just absorb in that dough. So when you break in the dough, you're gonna get all of that butter, all of those thyme that are gonna be married, sitting down, waiting on you at the bottom, all right? So that's the first one. Now let's do the second one. We're gonna go ahead with our crab butter that we made. So let me just put it on the light so you can see. We're gonna just put it right in the pot. Heat it up like that. We're gonna add maybe 2 of these right in there. They're really, really light, all right? So they're light. So that nice crab filling is in the middle. You're gonna hit it with a little parsley. All right, so we're just gonna hit it with a little parsley. We're looking good. We're gonna all right, so I'm gonna put that to the front. Get my plate to the back. Get my crab and dough with that nice crab butter sauce simmering right there. I'm gonna just put some of this down, just extra filling. Like I said, these are the flavors of the islands, and certainly we as Bahamians are really proud of these flavors. And I think these are flavors that we could introduce to our local guests, right? To our international guests. But you could also do it like this. So what I'm trying to show you is that we can now take some of the flavors and be able to, just reinvent some of the presentation so we can be able to serve it to the guests. All right, so now we're gonna plate it up. I'm just gonna put one for the plate up. I'm gonna go ahead and pour some of that sauce right on top. So crab and dough, hit it with a little parsley. And just a little bit of microgreens to finish it, all right? So crab and dough, old version, crab and dough, new version, all right? So today's show been brought to you by Bahamas Scriping, Simplified Lending. Until next time, I'm Chef Manny on Dishin It Up.